because now our mystery guest is here.
What'd I tell you? I knew it would happen.
Well, let's get to on Mystery Guest Day here on the PHLY Sixers Podcast. Bree, who do you have for us for Mystery Guest Day? Let's see. Justin Edwards from the Philadelphia 76ers joining us here on the show. Justin, thanks for checking in with us, man.
Thank you for having me.
We got. Can you hear us?
Think you
I
can
hear
hear
you. Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
now we got
perfect.
you. Now
There we go.
First of all, I want to ask you is now we can add not just Sixers player, Sixers wing, but also now head coach at the Roots Picnic Celebrity Game. I saw Justin Edwards there.
I can't really hear.
And
Hold on right quick.
Oh, no, now you can't hear us. Oh. All right, some people guessed it and got it right. And can you hear us now?
Yeah, it's better now. Yeah, I can
All
hear
right,
you guys.
cool. So
Perfect.
after I gave you the great introduction about the player, Justin Edwards, I wanted to ask you about your coaching debut at the Roots Picnic, man, where I saw you sitting there saying, you know what, just sub yourselves in. What kind of coaching strategy did you have there?
So what it was, right? Gilly, Cooper DeZine, and DeBaby, they didn't want to come out the game. So I could only sub in 2 people. So everybody was on the bench like, when am I going to get in? I'm like, hey, you know what? Just save me the trouble. Just sub yourself in when you feel like you want to get in the game, right?
That's a lot of egos to manage. Did that give you any perspective on what it's like being an NBA coach?
Yeah, I said that. I said, yeah, I'm going to just stick to playing basketball,
Absolutely. Well, I hope you had a good time there, man. It's good. Thanks again for joining us. How's your summer been going after year one in the books, man? You get the standard contract. You play, 44 games for the squad, averaging 10 points. You close out the season really well. How's your summer been? What has the summer been like? What have you been working on? We've seen you working with Tyrese Maxey in Texas. What's been going on?
Summer's been good for me. I've just been trying to work on all the stuff that the coaches wanted me to work on to get better, to contribute to this season coming up. So, I've just been trying to focus on changing my body and all the little stuff like that.
In terms of changing your body, Justin, is that just simply, putting on more muscle? Is there any kind of
putting on more muscle?
Yeah, like is there any new workout routines you've added, new diet, anything like that you can give us some insight on?
No, just been like lifting every day, because during the season you don't really get to lift as much. So, I'm just taking advantage of the opportunity right now, just trying to get as strong as I can.
So looking forward to next season, if you had a short list of individual goals for next year, what do you think is, at the top of the list you're looking to do next year?
For me, individually?
Yeah, just for you. Obviously, as a team, you want to win.
Yeah, I was about to say that's number one, and number 2 is just to make Rising Stars and just try to add on to what I did last year. So I feel like I should have made Rising Stars this year, or the rookie team this year, but things happen. So that's one of the goals that's motivating me and to go next year.
You've obviously had a bit of a roller coaster over the last couple of years, from a very highly ranked recruit to maybe a little bit of a disappointing season at Kentucky, to undrafted, to now establishing yourself. I think you're in the top 10 and scoring one rookies, standard NBA contract, all that. I guess what would you have learned from that, and how can that help make you better going forward?
First, I don't think my season at Kentucky was disappointing. I just ain't live up to the expectations of being the number one projected pick in the draft. So, I just ain't live up to that. But I feel like I had a solid year at Kentucky. It just wasn't my best, to be honest. But what was the other part of the question you said?
What do you think you can take from that, and how can you then use that experience to build going forward?
But the way I've been able to use that experience is just going through all the adversity I went through in college. I feel like that helped me out this year, going undrafted and then starting off the season not playing, getting sent down to the G League. So, I just took all that as like motivation and just stayed positive and was just trying to control my controllables, really.
Justin, was there a specific moment or game this year where, whether it was somebody you were guarding, someone you made a shot over, drove past, that you thought to yourself, like, all right, I'm in the league now. Like, I can hang with these guys and I can, keep building on this?
I'd probably say my first start. Like, that's when I felt like, my first start was on TV against the Lakers. And I was a little nervous at first. But, after the game, I told Tyrese and those guys that I was going to be better, because I felt like I don't know how to describe it, really.
So looking back at everything that Derek asked you about the draft and landing where you did, you mentioned the undrafted part. And oftentimes when things go that way, you look at the undrafted piece where you get to choose where you want to go, where you want to land, and that's the best fit for you. And seemingly it worked out for you in this way. So reflecting back on it and looking at where you are right now, the fit that you have with the Philadelphia 76ers, getting the standard, being in the top 10 in scoring, despite the disappointment of not being drafted, and you even, as you pointed out, feel like you should have made the all-rookie team, one of the all-rookie teams, feel like you landed in the perfect spot for you to kick off your NBA career.
Yes. Really came down to the decision, like, after the draft was over. I talked to my agents and stuff, and they were telling me the teams that were, like, interested in me, and I chose the Sixers because I just felt like it was close to home and I'll be able to get an opportunity. That's what they was telling me. Then I got guys like Reese and all those guys that went to Kentucky. So, it was I feel like it was a perfect fit for me. And then, like, what did you say after that?
It was just more of that you made the right decision, to start off your career of the place to land.
Yeah, and, like, when I got here, they were really big on trying to get me back to myself. They were trying to get me back out of my shell that I was in when I first got here, and they've been doing a really good job since I've been here.
And being in that shell, getting out of that shell, as you said, that last stretch of the season that you did in fact have, and scoring the way you did, as Kyle pointed out, being comfortable out there and learning the NBA game. How did that last stretch feel for you as a player, and already feeling like, I know I can play, but getting 25 to 30 minutes, being out there consistently, starting those games, and knowing that you can play to help you go in the offseason for all the things that you're working on?
It felt good, really. I was able to showcase that I belonged in the NBA, and I took advantage of the opportunity, really. That's all I can really say about that.
Justin, now that you've actually gone through the draft process where you're doing workouts, interviews, all that stuff, and you see the rumors fly everywhere, what's it been like watching how it's playing out for the Sixers now, where they have a top 3 pick, and there's just every single day it's a new story and a new, hey, they could be drafting this guy, they could be doing, like, what has that been like as a member of the team to go through that?
It's just been crazy, really. I'm gonna let them handle that stuff, so I just just kind of do what I can do in the basketball court, but let them handle all that stuff.
But do you have any guys that you liked watching, or like, man, I think that guy's gonna be really good? Is there anybody you followed closely this year?
I got a couple homies that's in this year's draft, so I'm happy to see where they land at.
This could be anything from something that happened on the court to maybe dealing with travel or really anything. But what surprised you the most about being in the NBA? Like, what took you the most off guard?
Most off guard? The practice. I didn't know practice was like, the practice is only like an hour and a half. I never knew that. I've always been practicing like 2-3 hours my whole life. So when I got here, I thought practice was going to be harder, but it's really not. That's what took me by surprise.
Especially, I feel like once you get deeper into the season, like, it can ease up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one more for me, just to see that you already mentioned your relationship with Tyrese Maxey, the rookies. We saw how you all bonded at training camp when we were out there together. But also seeing Joel Embiid, despite the fact that he couldn't play as much, seemed like he always brought your name up. He was at your jersey retirement at Imhotep. And so what's that relationship been like? How satisfying is that for you to have, in this case, the two main guys like that, including Paul George, have your back?
It means a lot, really, to have a guy like Joel, who's one of the main guys on the team, to be in my corner supporting me. Me and him got closer towards the year went on, because I was always asking him questions about what he sees in the game. I always try to ask all the guys questions. So the fact that he was able to, adjust to me when I got here and was able to welcome me with open arms meant a lot to me.
Last one, Justin. Who you guys taking? You can tell us. We're not going to tell anybody, I promise. Who you taking at 3?
Hopefully the Kentucky boys get it done.
All right, Justin, that was Philadelphia 76ers. Fantastic rookie campaign, and got the standard contract. We look forward to seeing what's in store for you in year number 2. Maybe we'll see you at the Danny Rumpf Classic in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe we'll see you there. I don't know, but it's good to catch up with you, man. Thanks for stopping by, hanging out with us as our mystery guest.
Thank you, Justin.
Appreciate it.